What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I am back with another video. This time once again, we're looking to the best point guards in the NBA, that being Ja Morant, as well as Steph Curry. Now we're looking at these two elite point guards. The way they play couldn't be more different. Steph, he's all skill, he can pull from 35 feet, and is the best shooter of all time. Ja in his own right is a good shooter, but the way he attacks the defense is getting to the rim and finishing at the basket, going around you, over you, or through you. And due to his phenomenal season so far, many NBA fans have coined Ja Morant the point guard of the future for the 2020s decade once Steph retires. So that being the case today, I want to look at both players, their similarities, and their similar backgrounds of making it to the NBA. Now before we get into that, if you could very quickly, leave a like on this video as it helps me out tremendously. So that being said, let's get into it. So when looking at both Steph and Ja, they're elite point guards, and you could argue the two best point guards in the NBA. And right now both their teams have overachieved big time, with Memphis being the 4th seed and Golden State being the 2nd seed. Now putting that aside, I want to look at both their NBA journeys and just how similar they are. Now looking at both players in high school, they came in as small undersized freshmen, with Steph being 5'6", 130 pounds, and Ja being 5'8", 140 pounds. And as seniors, both players stood at 6 foot tall, Ja playing for Crestwood High School in South Carolina, and Steph playing in North Carolina for Charlotte Catholic. And when it came to both these players, they had very supportive dads who pushed them to be great. Ja's dad, T. Morant, would train him all day in the backyard. They'd run 5-on-5 pickups, as well as one-on-one training drills.
I was worried about his athleticism, because he wasn't dunking. So that's when I got the big tractor tie in the backyard. So after every drill, I had him jumping on it 25 times. And then after that, the bounce got crazy.
In the summer of 2014, 14-year-old Ja took his game above the rim while playing AAU.
And a pretty interesting fact I found is that T. Morant played with Ray Allen in high school, and back in 06 had an NBA G League tryout with the Dallas Mavericks. Now speaking of being an NBA dad, we have Steph's dad, that being Del Curry, one of the best shooters of all time. And as you could imagine, having an NBA dad is a huge benefit to your training and your overall development.
When I was in 8th grade, I made a decision to spend all year round on it and do what it took that was necessary to play in college.
I told him, listen, son, if you want to play in the college, you're going to have to bring it up and get it up above your head, over your forehead. So we worked at it all summer. That was a tough summer for him.
It was tough for me to watch them in the backyard, late nights, a lot of hours during the day working on his shot, because, they broke it down to a point where he couldn't even shoot at all. He'd be back there at times crying, not wanting to work on his game. He had to do it rep after rep after rep to a point where he was able to master it.
Now even with both these guys having killer work ethics, in high school, they were not highly touted or highly recruited. Ja in South Carolina, he was unranked, getting 0 stars on virtually every website, and Steph wasn't much better, only being a 3-star prospect, having no major D1 offers. And when it came down to it, they both went to small schools, that being Ja to Murray State, and Steph to Davidson. And as freshmen, both these guys definitely impressed, but still they weren't NBA prospects. Steph averaged around 20, and Ja averaged around 15. But when it came to their sophomore year, that's when they really broke out. And the similarities for that year are definitely pretty stunning. Looking at Steph's sophomore year, he averaged 25.9 points per game, and his team had a 29-7 record, the best in the conference, and they won the conference championship. He was an All-American, and his team in the NCAA tournament as a 10th seed. Ja in his sophomore year averaged 24.5 points per game, and had a 28-5 record. He was also a conference champion, as well as an All-American, and his Murray State team made an NCAA tournament appearance just like Davidson. And for both these guys coming to the tournament, they definitely weren't widely known, but hardcore basketball fans, the experts, they definitely saw Ja and Steph as future NBA prospects. And when it came to their playing the tournament, both guys definitely impressed. Ja in his first tournament game had a triple-double, hitting 17 points, 16 assists, and 11 boards, only the 9th triple-double in tournament history. And Ja's Murray State team would pull off the upset versus Marquette, who was the higher-ranked seed. And after that game, any college basketball fan, or any NBA fan for that matter, knew the name Ja Morant as one of the best college players as well as NBA prospects. Now speaking of tournament stars, back in 08, Steph had a run for the ages. As Davidson, once again, they are the 10th seed, and Steph's team put off 3 major upsets, beating Georgetown, Wisconsin, as well as Gonzaga. And looking at his highest scoring games, he had 40 points, 33, 30, as well as 25. And after that dominant run, Steph was a household name, and Davidson was the Cinderella team of the tournament. So looking at both Steph and Ja in their sophomore years, they had very similar outings. In the tournament, they became national stars. Now when it came to the NBA draft for both these players, once again, they were widely known. But still, they were far from a sure thing and had their fair share of doubters. And the one common thing I saw from NBA scouts, it said Ja and Steph, they were too small, and they get banged around by NBA bigs, and they couldn't handle the physicality of NBA players. Of course, now in 2022, we know that's not true, as Steph and Ja are both 2 of the best finishers in the NBA for undersized or smaller players. Now looking at the NBA draft and what happened, this is where it gets pretty scary with the similarities. Steph in the 2009 draft, he was picked 7th by the Golden State Warriors, 1 pick before the New York Knicks. Ja in 2019, he was the 2nd pick, also 1 pick before the New York Knicks. Once again, the Knicks getting screwed when it comes to draft lottery. Also a big similarity in both those drafts is the number 1 pick was a high-flying power forward named Blake Griffin, as well as Zion Williamson. And as you guys know, both those players were definitely injury-prone when it came to their rookie seasons. And actually, Blake missed the entire 2010 season due to a devastating injury in preseason. And for Zion, his debut would also be delayed as he only played halfway through the year, making his debut versus San Antonio Spurs. So I think it's a pretty cool similarity of both Steph and Ja's draft. The number 1 overall pick, who is a high flyer, is also very injury-prone. And when it comes to both Blake and Zion, they are the clear-cut number 1 overall picks. There's simply no debate. The best thing the draft was before the draft happened. Now looking more in depth at their NBA careers in their first 3 years, it's also pretty comparable, as both players had 3,000 points, 1,000 assists, 700 boards, and 1,000 made field goals. Also one similarity, both these players didn't win 1 playoff series in their first 3 years. And for Steph, he would make the playoffs till 2013 after his Golden State team won 47 games. That for him was his 4th year in the NBA. When it came to his playoff run, he averaged 23-8-4 on 43-40 and 92 splits. And that right there for Steph was his first real introduction to NBA fans on the biggest stage. Now also pretty similar to that, Ja, in his first playoff appearance, would show up big time for NBA fans, averaging 30.2 points per game, 8.2 assists, 4.8 boards on 49-32 and 78 splits. Just like Steph, hit a big time splash in his playoff debut. And once again, looking at Steph and his Golden State team, their breakout season came out of nowhere in 2015. That year, Golden State was projected to only win 52 games, when in reality, they won an NBA best 67. And as you guys know, Golden State won the championship that year versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now this year for Ja as a player, he's definitely broken out, as Memphis team has definitely overachieved. As right now, they're the 3rd best record in the Western Conference. When coming to the year, they're only projected to win 42 games and barely be a playoff team. So I think looking at both Steph and Ja, their NBA journeys so far have been pretty similar. They were drafted 10 years apart, both before the Knicks, and draft, the first overall pick was a player who was a high flyer, who was injury prone. And when it comes to their path to superstardom, they came in as stellar rookies, they battled, they grinded, they made the playoffs, and eventually took the NBA by storm and surprised everyone with 1 stellar season. Right now, Memphis, they're in the midst of that, and Golden State in 2015 shocked everyone and won the championship while losing 15 games in the process. So once again, looking at both Steph and Ja, their upbringings, it's pretty similar, and if you're looking for one player to carry the torch to the best point guard of the 2020s, I think Ja Morant is definitely that guy. So that being said, that is the end of the video. As always, let me know your guys' thoughts. What do you think of Ja Morant and Steph Curry being compared? What do you think of their backgrounds, their path to the NBA, their college careers, their high school careers, as well as their NBA careers? As always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time.